There are places in this world untouched by time, dark, hidden places where silence breathes and the earth keeps its secrets. One such place was Black Hollow Cave, nestled in the dense forests of the Appalachian Mountains. Few knew of it, fewer dared explore it, and only one man came to know it intimately. His name was Thomas Grady, a 50-year-old former geologist turned solitary adventurer. After years of corporate life mapping oil veins and mineral deposits, he had grown weary of boardrooms and spreadsheets. He longed for rawness, for the unfiltered reality of stone, air, and earth. So he sold everything, bought a used Jeep, and began traversing the country, chasing rumors of uncharted caves and hidden crevices whispered among climbing communities and survivalist forums. Black Hollow was a legend. Locals spoke of strange wind patterns and unexplained disappearances. Some said the cave was bottomless. Others claimed it shifted, that no map drawn of it stayed accurate. These stories only emboldened Thomas. In late October, with frost already crusting the leaves and the first snow of the season flirting with the peaks, he arrived at the mouth of the cave. He packed light but efficiently: headlamps, backup batteries, rope, a compact drill for anchors, a week's supply of food, water filtration tools, a rugged satellite beacon, and a GoPro strapped to his chest to document his journey. His plan was to spend 2 days mapping the first major chamber, a third day pushing into the inner caverns, and then retreat. But caves are patient. They wait. They listen. And when a man enters with too much pride, they sometimes close behind him. The descent began smoothly. Thomas marveled at the stalactite formations, intricate as chandeliers carved by time itself. The narrow passageways gave way to grand chambers littered with glittering mineral formations. He spoke softly into his recorder, his voice echoing around him like a ghost. On the third day, he found a rift, a narrow vertical shaft, barely wide enough for his shoulders. The air that wafted from it was cold and wet, and it carried a strange metallic tang. Excited by the prospect of unexplored territory, he rigged his rope and began to lower himself. He didn't hear the rumble above him, just felt the sudden tremor. A rock shifted. Another fell. Then a cascade of stone roared above him as he dangled 15 feet below the shaft entrance. Dust choked the air. The light from above vanished. When he scrambled back up, he found the exit sealed behind tons of rock. He was trapped. The first hour was panic. He screamed, beat the stone with his fists, cursed the earth and himself. Then survival instincts kicked in. He checked his gear. The beacon had no signal, either blocked by the dense rock or malfunctioning from the fall. Food and water were limited but sufficient for several days. He was bruised, not broken. He set up camp in the closest chamber, a low-slung dome where water trickled from a crack in the ceiling. He rationed food and lit small lamps to preserve battery. Each day, he explored outward from the chamber, looking for another exit, another shaft, another hope. On the 5th day, he found a tunnel. It was smaller than the rest, barely crawlable, but it breathed. He could feel the air moving faintly against his skin. He slid into it, inch by inch, gear dragging behind him. It twisted, narrowed, then opened into another chamber, vast and blacker than anything he'd seen. His light barely scratched the darkness. And then he saw something impossible. Footprints. Not his, smaller, older, bare. He followed them, calling out, though his voice now was hoarse and raw. The prints led to a rock wall where strange symbols were carved, spirals and eyes and handprints. Beneath them, bones. Not animal, human, ancient. A shrine, maybe, or a warning. He felt eyes on him. Time stretched. Days bled into nights, but without sunlight, time lost meaning. He began to dream while awake. Hallucinations, perhaps, or memories brought to life by the quiet. He saw faces in the rock, heard breathing that wasn't his own. Once he swore he heard laughter echoing through the caverns. His food ran out. Hunger gnawed at him like a rodent in the dark. He considered eating moss, even insects. He drank from the trickle in the ceiling and tried not to think of what filtered through the stone above. On what he believed to be the 12th day, he made a choice. He followed the footprints again, deeper this time, until the tunnel narrowed into a tight vertical shaft. A breeze drifted up from below. The air was cold, but it smelled of pine, of life. He climbed down. It took hours, perhaps more. Rope ran short. He had to scale the rock directly, fingers numb, muscles trembling. And when he finally reached the bottom, his light caught something. An opening. Real, not imagined. A slit in the wall where sunlight filtered in, faint and golden. He screamed with joy and dragged himself toward it. They found him 2 days later, half conscious, curled on a bed of pine needles, covered in dirt and stone dust, 20 pounds lighter. A rescue team had been dispatched by a friend he had texted days before entering the cave. They found the sealed entrance, then noticed a broken branch and drag marks at the edge of a cliff nearly half a mile away from the cave's known mouth. Thomas survived, but he was never the same. He never entered another cave. He stopped speaking of Black Hollow entirely. But sometimes, when he slept, he whispered names no one knew. He'd scrawl spirals in notebooks, eyes in the margins of newspapers. And he always kept a flashlight in his pocket, just in case the darkness came looking again. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell for instant notification about the next great story from Elite Readers.